What's up, bros and gigolos? Big day in the markets today. It was gangbusters. A lot of the things that we had been thinking about came to fruition today, but it looked like in the morning it was going to be all for naught. So let's dig into the stock market indices and then our day trading watch list for tomorrow. I'll also have some swing trades for you guys. But let's first start off with the general index in the QQQ. We had a gap down today, and that came from this Ukraine-Russia news, right? And so we had this news out that, right, the Ukrainians are going to be doing some missiles or whatever. And so we had a gap down, and it kind of, it threw me for a little bit of a loop because we had such a nice day yesterday. I was thinking we'd probably open up strong. And, we gapped down and we ended up holding right at yesterday's kind of, dip spot. And then it was just off to the races. We chopped around for about an hour and then we really picked up some steam and ended up with a trend day that was way more powerful than even the previous day. And, this is basically, right, an engulfing candle. When you have something that's just way bigger than the previous day's ranges. So a lot of good things played out in the markets. I would say that if you were going to draw up a scenario in terms of, a good scenario, if you're a bull, this was it. Shaking off the bad news, on the Ukes, and then on top of that, breaking the previous day's high and then continuing into the gap that we have been talking about for the last, a few days here, which is, Friday's kind of open was the gap fill spot, right? And so we got into that, and now we've got a nice suction into this 508 to 510 zone. I think there's some upside left in this market. Beyond that, there were a lot of speculations, a lot of good-looking stocks. I mean, my watch list is, gosh darn, 100 names right now. Just narrowing it down for you guys took some time. I mean, it's so many heaters right now. This is the Goldilocks zone of the markets where, you have a trend on all different time frames, and it's really a good time that multiple types of strategies will work. So, for example, if you're a breakout trader, breakout trades only work in certain markets. You really have to be in a specific market cycle, they work about 1/4 of the time. If you're a pullback trader, so on and so forth. If you're a fade trader, right now we're in this phase of the market because there's so much range, so much extension that all different types of strategies are in play. You're a breakout trader, a pullback trader, a swing trader, day trader, investor, it's all in the cards when you're in this kind of Goldilocks zone of the market. So we're into the gap. We closed over the 9 EMA and the QQQs. I mean, you can't really write a better script. We've got a nice suction zone over here. And then if that comes out, then, we'll probably, come back into the highs. But frankly, just a really bullish day to shake off that news and that gap down after like just 30 minutes of chop is just fantastic. You can see here, these are called bullish engulfing candles, and it really took out this multiple days worth of range. We're into the gap on the SPY. This is, nice stuff. Look at this, the IWM had gapped down pretty good too. If you look at the IWM, I mean, it was looking like a nasty McGee in the morning, and we had a decent sized gap down. I believe it was close to 1%, and then woof, a 1% on the up day. So you had a 2% reversal. You're also holding into this support spot. We have a little bit more work to do to make this thing constructive, but it's a great start going into hump day. That's the big day for all you married folk out there, right? That's the day that your wife dusts off those shoes, goes dancing with you. You go to that Olive Garden, man, you look each other in the eyes. You share that bread basket, and you're sharing that bread basket, making memories at that buffet. But then you're also secretly kind of a little bit disgusted watching your wife eat so much bread, right? And you're like, man, I should have not taken her here. But a deal is a deal. You take your wife out for a steak and some wines. I mean, you could be spending $300, $400. And then hump day turns into something else because it's obviously, you're like, man, I spent a lot of money. I'm tired. I just had these wines. Where if you go into the Olive Garden I mean, things are happening, man. Things are happening. A lot of babies are made in that Olive Garden parking lot, man. I mean, imagine, like, all the 90s babies are probably made from that and the Red Lobster. I mean, those are the times. And so tomorrow's Wednesday. Dude, enjoy it. Get to that Olive Garden. Go do what you do, right? Go out dancing a little bit. Go out and make some memories, right? Make some memories. So now let's get into the watch list because there's a lot of good looking stocks here. We don't even have to dig too much into these indexes. We've got some really, really good stuff here. So I'll start from top to bottom. Hey, this INOD, this is a stock that I've been putting on the watch list for many of days now. And hold on here. We got ourselves here a really nice kind of flag pattern here. So you got this pop up and then just a nice, easy pull back into the 9 EMA. You're curling back up here, and you got yourself a good spot here at 48. I think that's got a good, man, that's got a good level right there. Now, it has been bouncing up for a few days. The swing entry has gone, but the day trading entries are still there. What I mean by that is if you're a swing trader, you really need to get these stocks like on the first day of the bounce, so that you can limit your risk in, right? You have still all that upside on the reward. If you're a day trader, once the stock starts to bounce, you can still keep trading it, for 4, 5, 6 days. You can keep it going. APLS, this one is an interesting one. I put it on the watch list because of, number one, the volume. It did fade back a little bit into the close, but you have yourself a base breakout here that's been holding up for some time. Look, this thing used to be $100. Let's see if it clears out this zone here. You may have some upside on this. Normally, it's a thin little bastard, but today the range was zesty. Like you ORB to 28, ran to 30, pulled back into the bone zone, back to 30. So, you kind of get these kind of $2, $3 pops. That's what you want to see. That's a nice look. JOBY was hot today. I don't know what was going on here. I think there was some upgrades in ACHR or this one. I forgot which one. Oh, it was this one. So these guys got an $8 target on this one. This may have a chance to get back into the zone of love. Frankly, this is the market for this type of play. If it takes out 650, you get to 750. It takes out 750, then the world is your oyster. I put this one and ACHR on the watch list. I normally don't like these cheaper names, but it is a $4 billion company. It did do 21 million shares in volume. And, it's the electric flying taxi business is just something that's just, I feel like we should be a part of. It's like that company that was doing the space robot. So I think JOBY, electric helicopter taxis sounds like a gosh darn good time, right? Who wouldn't want to get into this? I think they're actually autonomous electric hovercraft taxis or something along that end. But it's pretty damn cool. We got to be a part of this. We got to support this kind of stuff. NNE, dude, big day today, 10%. I messed up on this, man. I was grinding my balls against SMR today, and it didn't do shit. When NNE, no Nan, was, man, this thing's hotter than a goose's caboose right here. Like, this is where you want to go. Task. Man, you got a nice little wedgie McGee that is going to pop out of. 26 could send this thing, but I think it's ready now, man. Week open, red to green. Let's see if maybe some liquidity comes in. It does trade a little bit thin for what I like to do, but hey, hot is hot. Man, app, I've been putting this on the damn watch list for days. Big mamma jamma. 30 points range, guys. I'm going to keep putting this on for continuation due to this gosh darn God-fearing Christian range. I mean, this is, if it dips down tomorrow, we got to try to flip this thing long. It's a Butimus Maximus Murilius. Geo, I believe this is the Clinton's prison company. This thing has gone gangbusters here ever since old Trump and JD have taken over. Hey, this thing's got a flag breakout right here. So this is the post-election move. A little bit of a digestion. And now you've got this, $28. We got a $3 move on this thing today. I mean, it's ready to party tomorrow. Hey, Asti Tosti, Toast Incorporated, broke its flag. man, this thing is pretty liquid too. 15 million shares in volume. Look at the volume accumulation on this. I think this is another one. Week open, we could take this thing. RKLB, this is your IPO breakout. It tested into it on the earnings day and then kind of fizzled off. A little fugazi, gubagazi. Now you've congealed properly, built up a little bit of steam, and man, that's some Parmesan encrusted grouper right there. If this thing breaks out, that's got a darn good look right there. VST, hey, this kind of runs maybe with the nukes a little bit. You got a flag breakout here, man. Look at the range on this. $12. You can't beat that. Good liquidity, 6.5 million shares. It's a buenos. This Coors is more of a swing trade. I had a little bit of this in the morning as you started to come out of this range. I think this thing is still in play. Like, you can get this thing up into 18. You got risk down to 1550. A little bit of a weak open. I think it triggers, and you can day trade it too. It had 10 million shares in volume. D-Dog is also, to me, it looks like a potential swing trade opportunity. I wouldn't day trade this personally. It trades a little bit thin, but frankly, it did do 7 million shares in volume, so maybe I'm overthinking this. Just like when you watch it, it just feels something wrong about that thing, It just like got that, it's like stuck in your teeth a little bit, right? You just can't figure out why. You flossed, you used that electric toothbrush, man, the Sonicare Diamond Head still won't come out. You don't know what's happening, but you know it's there. And every time I trade this D-Dog, I feel like that. It's like just a big name tech stock we should be trading all the time, but it just don't have the juice. But now what I'm thinking is that if it breaks this 136, 137, the juice is going to come. See, what happens is when a stock has been stuck inside a range for a long period of time, it doesn't have the ability to trend multiple days because you just are stuck inside range, right? Range trading is essentially when a stock looks hot, it's not, and when it's not, it's hot, and it just goes back and forth. Awesome range on this. Pop up, pull back into the bone zone, pop up, pull back into the bone zone. I mean, that's what you want to see, right? You pull back into the bone zone, pull back into the bone zone. I mean, you want to see this kind of action. You've got a little red to green action on this. This is where it's going. This is nice, man. You got to add this to the watch list. It looks pretty good. A-Lab. Oof. This is a beauty, guys. It really is. This is an IPO breakout. You got $100 right there, $100 roll if it can go. And you're at IPO highs pretty much. Awesome range, 136 million share float. This is top of the list for tomorrow for day trades. I think the swing trade entry probably would have been a little bit in the morning. Now it's just for the day traders. AAOI. Might need to even set a buy stop on this thing. Like sometimes these stocks are just firing off. I don't know about you guys, but my alerts don't go off that fast in the morning, and I set them all over the place. Not been going off that fast lately, and I miss a lot of these random ones. My watch list gets a little bit long, but dang, this thing is hot, man. It takes up 29.25. It's ready to go. Bros, Dutch bros. That's perfection. Big multi-year base, right? You got to pop up a nice orderly, a little pullback. And now you start to test into that breakout spot. 4 million shares in volume, 4.7. That's a buenos. Hey, coin had an inside day today. So an inside day is like when you have like a huge ranging day, and then it just flat lines, right, for the day inside that range. Look how tight this range was. This might be one of those that that gets a little bit goosey pretty fast tomorrow. So keep an eye on it at the open. It may just, it may pull the snake on them. Great look. Guys, this is a really nice market right now. Focus up, study a little bit extra. You don't get these kind of markets all the time. A lot of times markets are just stuck in this, right? Where, you're just like in this hell. When you only get so much time where you're in, right, this beautiful action over there. So it's spring break. Go do what you do. I love you guys. Peace.